My name is Nick Ep.3, and I'm on a quest to try donuts from all over the Boston area. Whether glazed or Boston creams, powdered or chocolate sprinkled, I love donuts. Today we're trying out Demet's Donuts in Medford, a classic family-owned donut shop just north of Boston. Full disclosure, the way that the timing of the interview worked out, we had to get the donuts right before the shop closed, and the owner asked us to come back at a future time for the full Demet's experience because they didn't have much fresh, ready-to-go donuts in stock. So we're not going to review the donuts in this episode, though we still enjoyed the donuts they gave us and they were still great. We're going to come back to Demet's at a future time. Regardless, I'm really excited to be with today's guest, Melissa Sheetoo, a Medford native who I've known for most of my life and always enjoy spending my time with. She is smart, fun, passionate, humble, and a joy to talk to. So if you're in the mood for deep talks and sweet treats, settle down and join us for this episode of Discussions Over Donuts. I also know you as a great traveler. You're a world traveler.
I am now.
You are now, yeah.
I wasn't until 2012. I had not left the country.
Really? Until 2012?
Yes, and that's actually quite the story.
Please share.
Well, I was interested in this guy. And we were talking about service projects, and I knew that there was a project going on in Guatemala, and he's like, "Oh, you should go." We were talking about. He's like, "You should go." I'm like, "Well, I'd love to, but I don't have my passport." And he's like, "Well, that's a stupid reason not to go." So I got my passport.
Oh, peer pressure.
I did. I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's true." So I got my passport and I went to Guatemala for that first trip, and it kind of got me hooked. My heart is definitely committed to that country, and in the way that I can commit to it.
What did you do in Guatemala?
We basically it was probably close to 100 people, if not more, of us. 2 school buses worth of volunteers came from mostly the U.S. and I remember. At least one person from London came.
Wow.
But it was a medical brigade, so we went down specifically to offer free health care to 3 different communities. One was, it was a 5-hour drive into the mountain. It wasn't expected to be 5 hours, but it turned out to be 5 hours to drive up, see as many people as we could in that day, and then drive back down the mountain. So we were able to give a lot of care, physical, medical care, eye care, some chiropractic care, I think some OBGYN care, and some mental health.
Wow.
And dental.
And this is all in the span of a week or?
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, it's we go in, it's in and out. It's like an intense period of 3 days of work. For that trip, it was 3 different communities. So it was the mountain community. It was called the railroad community because there was a school by the railroad, and then the church community.
Wow.
So 1 community per day.
Yeah, and did you have any prior medical training or anything?
No, I was not even. I don't think at that point I was even like first aid certified.
Yeah.
But.
Just a willing spirit.
Yeah, I mean, this opportunity opened up.
I mean, you had a passport.
I had my passport and a willingness and an opportunity.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I think I want to do that. And so I got up there and I'm like, I think there are a lot of people that like me don't have any medical training, that there's plenty to do. So you don't have to have that background in order to be a helping set of hands.
I think in my life, being able to serve in different areas has been a great blessing, I think, and just definitely eye-opening. My senior year of high school, I went to a St. John's Prep in Danvers, and there was an opportunity to go with a a group of students to Ecuador. And so we went to Guayaquil. We got to see like a leper colony basically, and like be with them and spend time with them and talk to them. And we were in a very poor part of the city. And I remember, getting back and just, I didn't know what to think about my life here anymore, and
Same.
just how to like really feel about their life is so much different, but they're happy, they're content, and what are the things that I'm unhappy about? It's all so silly in comparison. And I actually just last year in January got to go to Honduras on one of the medical brigades.
Nice.
So I got to go to San Pedro Sula, and it was really, really great, and got to connect with a lot of great people. It's funny you say you had your passport. I thought I had my passport, and then I got to the airport, and they wouldn't let me board. They wouldn't let me go past the security gate because my passport was, I think, 4 months away from expiring.
Wow.
Right. So I'm thinking plenty of time to do it, plenty of time to go. And apparently some different countries don't let you travel with a near expiration passport.
I think it's 6 months.
Yeah. I think most places is 6. I think it might have been 3 months. I think it was 3 months. And Honduras, it has a 3-month window. I missed it by 2 weeks. And so I had to go get a new passport that same day. And then the next morning I flew out.
The next day.
Yeah, and so I missed a day of Honduras, but that was a wild, expensive turnaround too. But I was really grateful for the time down there. But do you think your time serving, has that been an impact on your faith or on your journey as a Christian, as you've kind of seen different parts of the world? I think some people really build their faith. Other people, it can be really challenging to look at the needs and balance that with their faith. How's that been for you? Well,
I mean, it's interesting that you said that you met up with a leper colony. We did as well in India, and that was probably one of the most, I feel like impactful is not even a strong enough word for what I felt. It was just, oh gosh, it was really hard, because I felt fear. I felt very uncomfortable. I felt like I don't understand anything that these people are going through. But really all they wanted was to be considered human. Like, talk to me like I'm a human. Like, touch me. And just touching a leper, like, it's just, I felt like this is all they want. And it's just such a basic human thing to do to each other that they'd never get.
I remember shaking the hand of a guy who didn't have any fingers because of the disease, and they want to be touched. They want to have interaction. Once they reach a stage where they're not contagious anymore, you're able to, but there's still such a stigma that no one wants to touch someone, and just see, it was like some of the kindest, nicest people, and warm, and it just, I was blown away by them, but also even by my own prejudices, by my own kind of fears in the moment of like, what if, it was.
But that's probably, and I've shared this with some people, but that moment of being with them, touching them, eating with them, like that's probably when I felt the most like Jesus, because that's exactly what he did, and that's what made him stand out to them. That he was willing to just even be in their presence and not shy away from that.
Right, and he reaches out, touches them. He has compassion. He's moved with compassion, it says in Mark 2, right? And he didn't need to. He could have just been there and talked to them, but he went more. He went beyond that. And that's what I felt like. I'm scared to do that, especially the first time. Like, I'm just so uncomfortable and I'm fearful, even though I'm in my brain, I know that I don't have anything to fear, but it's still super uncomfortable. And I, like, even being in situations of things that I'm not familiar with is still uncomfortable.
being in poverty is still uncomfortable because I know that I don't live in poverty.
Right.
And having to just wrestle with that in my mind is hard every time that for whatever reason, I'm not in this situation that these people are in.
Yeah.
But that it didn't matter to Jesus, so why should it matter to me?
Right. Yeah.
I guess something I've learned over the years is that in order to serve, you don't have to be somewhere that's drastically poor or, with these gigantic needs that you feel like you can't meet. There's needs everywhere. I've been on a couple of programs that, I went to New Zealand for a program that, for sure, it was
right nearby.
Yeah, it was for. It was actually building a partnership with a Marae, which is kind of a local tribe, community tribe there, and I'm probably not describing it very well, but it was the program was actually after years of just kind of cultivating a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And we ended up working with them on their marae to help with sustainable agriculture. So it wasn't like in the slums of New Zealand,
right,
like working with the, materially poor. It was helping them to better establish within their community how they could
kind of improve their infrastructure, improve their...
Yeah, and helping them to meet the needs of their community, not just us meeting the needs of their
empowering
community.
them.
Yeah. And it was really a great time of working, obviously working with your hands, and it wasn't like every place that you go has a specific set of needs, and kind of adjusting your mindset to be like, it doesn't have to be drastic. It's changing something for them.
Yeah.
It's helping them with whatever their needs are, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that know what their needs are.
Yep.
And another thing I've learned over the years through different workshops and books is that we as Americans may think that we know what other people's needs are, but we can't just assume what they are and try to solve something, especially if it's not really their problem.
Right.
It's having dialogue with them and them sharing what their needs are, sharing how we can help them, instead of us trying to say, we're going to fix this for you because we know exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Based on what I know I have.
Do you have a favorite Christmas treat as we're heading into Christmas here?
No. Christmas treat. Well, I'm not really into sweets.
You notice? Okay. I can tell by you're one of those people that like moves your food around on the plate, but you didn't actually eat any of it.
I've eaten 3 bites.
Yeah,
so
same.
I have friends out in the Pioneer Valley area who, when I can, I will drive out there to find and cut down their Christmas tree. Really? And decorate it with them.
Just go into any part of the woods and just...
a Christmas tree farm.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really close to them, so we'll, if we can, we'll do that. Doesn't happen every year. It's definitely not happening this year.
Yeah.
Or did not happen this year. But that's probably, that's
a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
I've never cut down my own tree.
Well, I watch them do it. I don't cut it.
Still the idea of going and finding one.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It's so cool to see your example, the way that you've had impact, the way that you've used the opportunities that have been given to you to serve, and I think it gives a lot of us a little bit of inspiration to make the most of the opportunities given to us. So I just want to thank you for being here and talking and enjoying some donuts.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's been great.
Awesome. We'll see you after Christmas. Thanks. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video today. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give the video a nice like, and even comment below where you think we should go next. What's your favorite donut place in Boston or in the Boston area? We'd love to hear from you. I'm also going to be leaving a description in the link for you to donate to hurricane relief down in Central America. They've been hit by 2 different hurricanes this fall, and there's been a lot of destruction, a lot of people displaced, a lot of people have lost everything. And so we want to do what we can to support the communities down there. Please take a chance, if you have a chance, to look, to donate. And I just want to say thank you and have a happy, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in 2021.